So, utter madness in Cardiff. What did we just witness? A fantastic game in the end, an amazing change in momentum as Wales nearly made the comeback of the century, but Scotland hang on, 26 points to 27. Actually, Wales pick up 2 losing bonus points, 4 tries and a losing bonus point. So welcome to this Six Nations video supported by Lifting Giants. Let's get into this game. I like to pick through the game and pull out the themes in it, but you can't generalise the whole game because rugby just changes so quickly, as this game proves. Now, I think Gatland must have got hold of these guys at half time and said this is not good enough. In fact, he thought it was so not good enough he changed the whole team essentially, or as much as he could, around that half time period, and they played like a new team as well. I'd have loved to be a fly on the wall in that changing room. Surely it was the riot act there to say you're going to be humiliated unless you step up, and they did. So from the outset, I'm just making notes that like Cameron Winnett looks like a schoolboy and Wales don't really have much to lose here, a young team. Gatland had gone out of his way to temper expectation in the build-up, saying, look, don't expect too much, they're a young team, let's see how they go. But in the end, they did themselves proud, but they were close to humiliation as well. It starts a little bit poor for Finn Russell with 2 horror punts, and he actually ends with a bit of a horror kick as well, but they do just hang on. Tuipulotu was very good in this first half. He was to the rescue, big power carries, wins a penalty early on, and he's the go-to man on launch plays. So it's 0-3 fairly quickly thanks to Tuipulotu. And then we've got Daffyd Jenkins, the young captain, miles in front of a kick from Costello. Seemed like utter madness there. Why did he start chasing from there? I don't know. And they're already in yellow card warning territory. And yeah, 10 minutes in, Scotland, they're all over Wales basically. Russell switching play, feeding Rowe, killer side set from Rowe. Fair play to Kyle Rowe. He had to step up and play fullback when Ollie Smith and Blair Kinghorn are injured, and he did a really good job actually the whole game. Free-flowing attack from Scotland, and it's the bulldozer prop Schoeman who squeezes under the tackles to score. Looks pretty unstoppable, 0-10. Danger signs already, like they might be overwhelmed, this Scottish attack. You know, they're used to playing together, it shows. Wales virtually new, and clearly they're trying to play quite a simple game, a kicking game, and it's not working at all. Scotland taking control and winning that kicking game as well. Ben White particularly good, his box kicks going a long way, probably why he starts over George Horne, although Horne came on and picked up the pace, but Scotland were on the ropes then. Anyway, on 18 minutes, just making a note on Josh Adams, who I thought had a pretty poor game, but his leg was very heavily strapped. Looks like a full leg brace almost. He goes into contact twice, far too high, reduces the speed of the ruck and gets mauled, turned over the second time. Yeah, poor from Adams, and he fumbles the ball on the next decent launch play, so not great. And I think he got hammered back on the 4th play after that, so am I being harsh? But watching Adams doesn't look like the player he used to be, but maybe he's carrying a pretty heavy knock there. Poor 20 minutes from Cameron Winnett, kicking a bit aimlessly and short to Finn Russell, who has acres of time to pick a really nice 50-22, and back chat from Wales, penalty 0-13, so it's starting to unravel quite a lot in this first half. Yeah, like I said, Wales trying to pin Scotland back with kicks, but it's not working at all, and they're not trying to run through phase play, they're playing very slow, and it does look like a slow Welsh pack, to be honest. That front 5 isn't the speediest, but they showed in the second half that they can step it up, or those players that came on can definitely step it up. Tommy Raffel coming to Wales' rescue quite a few times in this game. Pure open side, some really good jackals when Scotland was starting to build momentum. So certainly it could have been worse for Wales in this first half for sure. And then the next try comes for Scotland, and it really looks like Scotland have Wales' number. Really good play from Tuipulotu. There's a decoy on the loop play as well. Russell comes out the back. He puts in Van der Merwe. Top work try, 0-20. It's looking dire for Wales there. At this point, it looks like Scotland are leagues ahead of Wales, and Wales could get a hammering. But Finn Russell, he can go from the sublime to the ridiculous. He could have just cleared the ball deep in his 22, but he decides to check and run it, puts him in all sorts of problems, but Wales knock on and save them there. And Finn Russell, he can do these crazy things. Is he the right guy to be the captain? It's an interesting call. Just a little note on the ref here, makes a really good call. Luke Crosby looks like he could be in trouble with a clear out, but he's got perfect technique. He's going low, he's clearly not going for the head, and if there's head contact, it's just going to happen sometimes, and the ref ignores it. So good stuff there, some common sense coming into those decisions. And with 5 minutes to go, Scotland start getting in penalty trouble, and that carries on, of course, in the second half. They could have pulled ahead, but instead Domachowski comes up with a big scrum penalty, and that Welsh scrum really grew into the game. You feel like Wales really need to score, but the worst time for Elias to overthrow. I mean, fine margins in the end, that sort of thing could have cost Wales the game. Rafael still with those great turnovers. Anyway, 0-20 at half time. You're thinking Scotland have got this, they just need to be sensible. Wales are looking pretty awful. But like I said, Gatland made a stack of changes all around half-time, completely changed the team and changed their attitude. They went from a tactical kicking game, which was rubbish, to a pace running game, loads and loads of energy, and goodness me, it changed the whole situation. The crowd woke up and Scotland started to melt. Now in this match, Wales made a lot of headway in that line-out maul. That turned the tide, and line-out lifting so important. This video is sponsored by Lifting Giants. Get hold of these lifting blocks, specifically ergonomically designed, scientifically tested for better hand placement, better lockout, better line-out efficiency. Get your hands on them, 10% with the code RugbyAnalyst10 for the duration of the Six Nations. Get involved in that if you're a line-out jumper or a lifter, or you want to help someone who is. That would be awesome. Now, like I mentioned, Warren Gatland made a stack of changes in and around half-time, and it completely transformed Wales. But the second half did start pretty disastrously, as an awful kick chase from Wales. Their kick chase in that first half was appalling, and at the start of this second half it gave Russell plenty of time to launch a counter-attack, and he frees up Van der Merwe. And sometimes you just think he's a cybernetic Terminator sent back in time. The way he runs around players, it's crazy. Takes a hard right-hand turn and just goes around Thomas Williams. Pure pace, 0-27. It's just looking awful. And here we go. Then the Welsh charge starts coming. Thomas Williams, like I said, is on. Tompkins has gone on a mission. And they go for a clean front drive off a line-out. And Scotland just disintegrate. It's not the most devious of line-outs, but Scotland just absolutely melt. Try to both them. 5-27. And a yellow to Turner for his troubles, and it starts the slide. He didn't need to give away the yellow. It was going to go over the line anyway. It would have been a penalty try anyway, so it's just a terrible decision, really. Turner goes off, and Scotland just don't really recover. And that try was just what the Welsh crowd needed. They absolutely erupted, gave the team energy, I am sure. Wales creating quick ruck ball, Thomas Williams zipping it around, Johan Lloyd on as well, moving the ball around really quickly. All the forwards have stepped up. Talk about momentum shifts. The Welsh scrum forces Scotland to pop up. Penalty, Scotland's discipline is appalling, more penalties. Sub Teddy Williams batters it up, Tompkins with a brilliant offload, and Thomas Williams with a loopy pass over the top to Dyer for another good try. 12-27, so a crazy game. It looks like Wales are going to get absolutely pounded, but they're back in it. Adams apart, he's been looking poor, but I think he can't be fully fit. But Wales full of pace and confidence, moving it around, more offloads. Scotland just can't get hold of them. They're on another yellow card warning. They can't help themselves. More offsides. Tuipulotu off this time, one of their best players, for a yellow. And a try to Wainwright, 19-27. Now the structure isn't overly complicated from Wales, but they are just moving the ball so quickly, getting such quick ruck ball. On 62 minutes, Wainwright, the man on the mission, makes a clean break away from Matt Fagerson. Poor tackle attempt. The game is loose, it's thrilling compared to that slow, messy first half. Crazy change around in Wales' favour. With the extra man, Wales are making mincemeat of the Scottish defence. Winnis and Dyer making Scotland look silly up the left. Goes to a 5 metre line out. Scotland again completely splintered in the maul. And Alex Mann, another sub, he dives over. What a turnaround. Great conversion as well from Lloyd. 26-27, that's the bonus point try. And it looks like Wales are going to do this. They're going to come back. Like I said, is Finn Russell the wrong type of captain? You know, when the team are on the ropes, when they need to be settled down, I think that is a valid question. With about 8 minutes to go, Scotland finally get their hands on the ball. It seems like ages. 15 versus 15, game on a knife edge. Cameron Redpath is on, he makes a bit of an impact. Tupelutu does indeed go to 13 as I suggested in a previous video. But Russell, yeah, again, he's not calming things down. A rash grubber when they could have just kept hold of the ball because they're in the Welsh half, gives the ball away, and Wales get a penalty, go right up the other end. And the crazy stat I heard on the TV was that Scotland had given away 14 straight penalties. I know I've mentioned it before in match reports for Scotland that penalties can be a problem. Even worse here. Sub-hooker though, Ashman has a big throw to make and makes a horror overthrow at the worst time. Yeah, Wales look like it's on, but a good set of Scottish defence without this time giving away a penalty, and Wales cough up the forward pass, and that's the game, although Steyn does make a good burst and Van der Merwe nearly gets over, but it's grounded on a boot, and the game finishes 26-27, a point win to Scotland. Did they deserve it? Well, I have no idea. It was just nuts. In the first half, it looked like Scotland were by miles the better team, and Wales looked like the poorest Welsh team I'd ever seen. And then they just came to life with energy. Those subs coming on are surely going to start in the next game. What a comeback it would have been. Is it the right result? God knows. But anyway, 2 points to Wales. Scotland get the win. Comments below, and I'll catch you next time.